Hey peeps, welcome back to the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmoms podcast. And you're probably wondering, yo, what happened to that dope ass intro? I'm glad you asked. This is something new. I just posted today, which is April the 24th. Shout out to my homie John Furlow. Today is his birthday. And I recently posted on my Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. This is my F at 40s. And life was lifing. And my dope ass editor, he went out of town this weekend, and that's when he normally edits the podcast. And y'all, maybe a year ago, I would have flipped my shit because I told myself I would have a weekly podcast, and I had been editing my episodes up until I started working with Michael later part of last year. And I released that. I basically said F it without saying F it, and now I'm just being more private or scratch. Not being more private, but being more open and honest with, yeah, some things you just have to say F it. And I want to say F it because I don't want to assume I have control over anything. So he told me, hey, can you get the podcast episodes up earlier before I go out of town? Shout out to him. And I was tired, and I actually ended up having a sinus infection. So I was like, F it. We won't have an episode next week. And then I kept thinking about it. The reason why I said we wouldn't have one would be because I would have to record it early. I would have to rush myself. I wasn't feeling that well. I didn't know I was coming down with an illness. So I said F it. And then I'm feeling better. I have my antibiotics. I'm glad my doctor office was actually open over the weekend. That was a that was a gift. I'm not 100%, but I'm way closer than what I was. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, so the thought came to me to celebrate these F it moments, especially in my 40s. I've always wanted to do my own shit. I've always wanted to speak my mind. Now I have the tools to do so with love, with grace, with patience, not just vomiting it out. So yeah, I gave myself a couple of days and decided to record on Monday after I posted my F it post, F it 40s. Y'all got chin hair, and apparently a lot of us out here got chin hair, and we have been silent about it. I've had this hair. It's like 3 hairs. They'll grow. I'll just be chilling, and I'll think I have something on my chin. I'm like, oh, damn you. So I decided to lovingly name each one after me and my sisters, since it's 3 of us. So shout out to the ones who laughed at the post, who commented, especially Tara, who said they be coming back strong as hell. That hair be thick and healthy. Straight facts. It's just funny now. I remember going to Ideal Image and having laser hair removal from my upper lip, my armpits, and my bikini area. And I told them about my chin, and they looked at my chin. They was like, that's not enough for us to laser. And I was like, that's a compliment. Thank you for that. So this episode is called F it 40s, where I will share snippets of what life is like. And again, this came from just a post, inspiration, and I'm enjoying it. I have been wearing a mask consciously and unconsciously in the career space and friendships and relationships. The other F it moment was I've been telling y'all, especially on Instagram, that my goal for 2023 is to do a poll showcase. So I started doing poll last year, and I forget which month. I want to say it was in May. So almost like a year of just going once a week, once every other week, and getting used to dancing, getting used to feeling my body move in a way that it hasn't, or I told myself that it couldn't. And it's been freeing, it's been exciting, it's been building strength. I've also combined that with Pilates. I'm having fun. I'm meeting some really dope people who come to the class. Maybe I've seen them a lot. Maybe I've only seen them once or twice, but they really add a lot to that class. That's only 1 hour. I was actually talking to one of my clients about her saying that she's been so focused on work, 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 and she has a hard time accepting accolades and achievement awards and recognition at her job. And in the beginning of our sessions together, she was like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And I was like, okay. I was always curious. And by the end of our time together, we did this for 3 months. She came to the conclusion that she knows why she doesn't like that acknowledgement. And that is what coaching is all about. I'm going to tell you what her aha moments were. It's about raising your awareness. We don't know what we don't know. So these questions, these moments of reflection, of pausing, of pondering, brings about that awareness. And sometimes it'll come in a session, sometimes it'll come weeks later. And you can't forget what you know, especially when you're building and working on it. So thankfully, towards the end of our time together, she was like, Crystal, I know what it is. And I was like, what is it? She was like, that is the only thing I do. Me being recognized for the work I do at my job is just a reminder of that's all I do. I spend my time working, working, working. So that acknowledgement where other people might want more of it, she's like, it's just a constant reminder of how much I'm spending my time at work. And I don't want to do that shit. Y'all snap it up for her. Kudos to her. That is a major win. That is a gift that she gave herself with pondering, thinking, coaching with me, but also her therapist. And I was so excited for her because we got to brainstorm because she said, I don't know what I want to do with my time. I was like, fair. So we started throwing out some ideas, and come to find out, some of the ideas I had just happened to throw out, she was like, I've actually thought about doing that. Oh, I've never thought about doing this. And one thing in particular, she was like, I've always wanted to do it. I just never did it. And upon us talking about it, she discovered, I want a community. I want people around me who acknowledge me outside of my job title, acknowledge me outside of what I can do for them. So I shared with her in our pole classes, no one comes up to me and asks me what I do for work. Nobody. They're just cheering us on. Like, I'll be trying out something, be laughing and in my head thinking I'm trash. And someone be like, oh girl, that looked good. And I'm like, really? It felt crazy. And then the instructor be like, yeah, it does feel weird. It still feels weird to me after doing this for 3, 4, 5 years. And that assurance and that support, we don't realize how beneficial and valuable it is. So in my effort moment of knowing my pole goal for 2023 is to do a showcase, also with the studio who's holding it, they were lagging on time to pick a date. And the instructors were so dope in trying to keep us informed, especially me, because they knew my pole goal for 2023 was to do a showcase. And unfortunately, they gave the date, and it was a last minute kind of announcement, giving us 4 weeks. And at first I was like, okay, I got to get my money together. Okay, what days am I going to go to a train? How do I create my routine? And the instructors are more than happy to help me with the routine. And then I was like, F it. I'm not spending my money to rush, to create a routine, to practice the routine within 4 weeks for this showcase that I told myself I wanted to do. If I told myself I wanted to do it, I can also change my mind if the parameters are not within my values or within my expectations. What am I rushing for? So I said, F it. And I told 2 ladies that I had actually hyped up, like, oh my God, they're doing the showcase. I felt bad. I was like, I hyped it up. I told them about the showcase, and now I'm not even going to do it. I hit them up and tell them that I'm deciding not to do it. And they was like, good for you. No, I just signed up to volunteer just so I could see what it's all about. Geniuses. So they had already made the decision to volunteer versus putting themselves in the showcase while I'm over here like, oh, I feel bad because we don't have that much control of the other people. We really don't. We do not have control over other people. So in that effort moment, what are some things that you think you might be affecting someone else or you might be feeling responsible for their actions? Where can you say effort? And find like some gray. Because even though my poll goal for 2023 was to be in a showcase, the middle could be, which I am taking the middle, volunteering, being inspired, feeling all that dope ass energy for those who do feel as though that time frame is perfect for them, cheering them on, and being excited for the next showcase, which I've been told sometimes they have it in the fall. So y'all, fingers crossed. And if it comes to fruition, I will enter into the fall showcase because when this one where I'm volunteering, if they allow me to volunteer, if they have enough people, I don't know yet, I get to get inspired and excited about whenever the next one comes. And if it happens to be 2024, I'll be stronger, I'll be more skilled, and I'm still gonna kill that shit. And the other effort moment that's been occurring in Crystal Town is I told myself I wanted to travel more. And there were a friend group that invited me out of the country to celebrate one of our friends' birthdays. And at first, we hadn't talked in a while. And when I was invited, I'm like, ooh, do I want to go? Is it going to be awkward? And I was like, no. I've said I wanted to travel. They've invited me. We've met up. We kicked it. Let's do this. Well, because I'm in the Jackson Ward Collective Community Business Academy, we have been heavy on personal finances, business finance, breaking even, and then creating profits. And y'all, I'm happy to share that I'm getting excited about my expenses, personally and business wise, where now I put a reminder on my phone, first of the month. I go in with all of my accounts for my business and I'm tracking my expenses. I pretty much already have a budget plan for my business because there's not a lot of overhead for coaching. I'm grateful for that. So I can kind of plan ahead for most of it. And then the variable expenses like ink, it's kind of random. And maybe it'll be more routine once I start tracking it more. Look at me. Look at me talking this. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, so I've been being more intentional about my business finances in addition to your personal because you can't separate. You got to be on top of both. If you're on top of one, you're probably not on top of either. It just doesn't work like that. And so with my personal finance, y'all will hear from two dope ass women who have helped me tremendously about my mindset, my view, my perspectives, my skills, and knowledge occurring with finances. And they'll be coming on next week and the week after. I'm really excited to share that because this really has been a big change. My story with finances, I'll share that after their interview episodes. It starts back so far and I'm excited. But yeah, looking into my personal finances, I realize this does not make financial sense. In this effort moment, I've had to make some challenges and some changes that has made me nervous. And much like I was sharing about the poll experience, sharing it with the ladies, like, what would they think? What would they think? This trip is a snippet of that where I told the friend group I was going to go. And actually looking at the numbers, it just didn't make any sense. Y'all, me and my husband are still sharing a car. I now can afford a car. Why would I spend that money on a trip when I don't have my car? And I'm starting to travel more into the city, like even going to the pole, even meeting up with my group for the Community Business Academy. It's a lot of changes occurring. So I hit up my friend to share with her, like, hope you can understand. She was like, absolutely, I can understand. And we're going to celebrate my birthday locally too. So not only did she understand where I was coming from, yet again in my head, I made this whole story up that I'm hurting somebody's feelings. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to talk about me, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't the case. I know sometimes it feels like when we're open and honest, people can rip us a new one. However, they can't do that unless you give them the power to do it. And I have learned in this season of changing, and it's been going on for a while, but it feels very focused this time around. And I want to choose me because I'm coming from a place of love, because I'm giving myself grace and the people around me grace. And if others are incapable of receiving the message with love or grace, that's not on me. If I'm truly coming from a place of love and honesty of, I really want to go on this trip, I'm so sorry I can't, and these are the facts, and the person takes it a different way than I intended, they have the right to. I spoke my truth. And I'm grateful that this time it was received with love and then counter offered with, but you can still celebrate my birthday here locally. Come on, that's a win-win. This has been fun. Again, sorry. No. Not going to apologize. Again, thank you for being able to pivot and accept me as I am, recording in my closet on my phone, and making it easy for me to speak to you for this week's episode. And we wish that Michael had fun. He was able to travel safely to and from to visit his family, and that I continue to get healthy, and that you all will appreciate this reminder to say F it, even if you're not in your 40s. However, what would it feel like to say F it to certain things? And know that it's not you just erasing it or dismissing it, but you're saying F it to the control or the illusion of control that you think you have. And accepting, okay, this is where I'm at, and these are the resources I have. And thus, here we are. So yeah, stay tuned for the next 2 weeks of us celebrating April Financial Literacy Month, but it will be in the month of May because F it. The information is still very valuable, and I really want us to normalize talking about money, talking about how we feel about money, and acknowledging there's so many avenues and resources and tools and skills to build that finance muscle in your brain, because y'all, that's where it starts. Fuck these spreadsheets and these apps. Like, you can get them, and I'm here to tell you, I've been working on the mental around finances, and I'm tapping into the apps. The apps are like taking me out. It's causing me to be very overwhelmed. It's causing me to experience overwhelm, I should say, and also experience doubt. But because I've been working on the mental, I'm able to acknowledge, like, ooh, I feel that. Okay, breathe. The thought that's coming up is telling me to stop, don't do this. That's not the outcome I want. So just taking that as a pause. Reframing. It's not all or none. Remember, we like the gray. Keep the app or close the app. The middle would be what is a simpler way instead of using this particular app? There's so many easy apps. So we're going to get into all that after you hear from these two dope women that I cannot wait for you all to meet, one of which you've already met. The first one is Rashida Creighton, and she's from the Jackson Ward Collective. She's one of the 3 founders. And then the second is Kia Minor. You all know her from our 52-week savings challenge. Now I get to talk to her one-on-one. Dope women doing dope shit. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. And again, please remember, stuck moments appear when awareness is feared. Instead, get unstuck here. Fly free peeps. Bye.